Hey guys, I'm going to read a fanfic that I made, but I didn't complete it yet. I'm just gonna read the first chapter. Wait, I'm gonna drink some water first. Okay, let's read it. Yeah. Oh, I feel something. Wait. Of course you've never heard of this B-boy guy. And seeing negative comments about him from your mates is really concerning to you. For your curiosity, you, a woman of 19 in 1992, went to a talent show that had the stage name written on the listing queue. You heard that people made fun of him. His lack of English, his monotone, streaky voice that they described. And yet you never heard of it, and want to see if their statements were legit. Remember, it's all in the good old 90s, compared to what we have today. Today, your man's been alone but since lives his life in peace and quiet. He is well known for his 1992 song Bravely, and stands in the shadow as the writer and composer of Get Our Johnny's Eurovision song, Rockefeller Street. But if you close your eyes and remember the day you wanted to see him, you didn't know what would happen next. Sometimes you would think of the outcomes if you had never been there, but there's no time to worry. This small talent show just takes place in your hometown at 7 p.m. Only small steps to get to the lake should be fine. No special payments required. You can just zone in on any time to get there. You brought in your camera to take the moments that might never happen again. It started off as boring. You have witnessed tons of actions that you cannot consider a talent, such as 4 teenagers puking at each other to disgust the judges, and their ulterior motive was to get the worst score out of all the participants. An 8-year-old girl forcing a cat to eat rotten beans and defecating them out to make coffee. Pretty basic magic, just such as slicing someone in half, which a bunch of 5th grade girls did to a girl that looked like the main punching bag out of the group. And she's always the shy and quiet one with short hair and glasses. And a kindergartner doing magic to remove the cloth and make his twin sister disappear. A woman singing about her sexual experience about curly toes, pink ribbons and mows, and black pantyhose. As she made the song for her man named Ben. Yes, I'm talking about Curly Toes, the song that deserves to be lost forever. Squid's song is better anyway. A fat person farting on stage. That's literally it, mother... There are lots of people who went on the stage to disappoint the audience once the hosts realized they disqualified a quarter of the participants from the talent show, leaving the rest of the participants to actually do their passion. Well, you just remember why you came here for. The B-boy guy that your mates say that his works in himself were the biggest mistakes. You snapped every scene of each participant who joined in as a joke getting escorting off stage and was worth it. You fell asleep midway during the show. You're about to finally drift off until you are awakened by the cheer commemorating a teenage girl singing a mediocre a cappella song she made up. What happened after was pretty boring, actually. You went back to sleep since the B-boy animals in their cars and children at the playground until you were hit with the host's next words. Give it a boy, Beat Boy. Despite the overall hate comments about him, he looked kind of fine. Looks like the man of your dreams. Or he is. Hey, don't leave. You didn't know about this, right? He was the exact opposite of what you expected him to look like. And what he really looks like made you feel a little something. You imagine your dream meant to look like that, act like that, and got what you wanted. The funky alpha choice and the broken English. Something about him makes you think that if you just came up to him and say something, he might assume that he thinks you're some creep or some weirdo. He smiled and waved at the contestants as he walked. Apparently, 2 participants that were booted off stage earlier had messed with the cables off stage, meaning that the floor looked like burnt tinfoil spaghetti and that someone could trip over it without noticing. Their ulterior motive, they got mad at the judges and the host for disqualifying them. Just from the look of his eyes, he had never performed on stage earlier before in front of a whole crowd. Remember the cables from earlier? He got a pretty bad reception after that. The audience laughed at him more than how the comedian participants. His back started to hurt, and he hit his head on the ground. It was pretty bad. All those minutes and thoughts you had to waste, all for Beat Boy to hurt himself. Unlike the joke participants, he was disqualified from the talent show. However, unlike the disqualified contestants, he was given an opportunity to compete in the next event instead, in which he had honestly denied and decides to recover from his injuries. He proceeded to walk away and sit in a grassy hill covered with trees far from the event instead. You follow him without trying to look like some creep to him. As he's sitting under a tree, he thought he was alone. After a call-up pity party, you slowly gathered behind him. Aw, chin up, buckaroo. It ain't the end of the world, you smiled. He looked up at you, confused, wondering why such a person could come up to him after tripping over cables on stage. So to you, it's pretty normal to scare someone after having people maniacally laugh over them tripping over cords on stage, he demanded. Ouch! Sorry, my head still hurts. Yeah, sorry about that, you grinned. He eyed at you with such rage and boredom on his face before he was about to finally say something. Oh, come on. What are you here for? Nothing. Just want to say hi. Oh, he asked. Don't be shy. Explain why you're really here for. You sighed. Okay. A lot of my close old friends have been talking about bad things about you. Of course, I had never heard of you when I heard all of that. And they said you were more than talent show. You tightened your lips. I went over there to see what you doing. And the expectations. And then when you're tripping over the cords. Oh, okay. I did not expect that one answer. He replied, dusting off his pants. Now, what are you really here for? Never mind. Sucks to be the loser here. You laughed. You're funny. I like you. Feeling ain't coming back. He slowly began to walk down the hill and tried to ignore your yapping. Hey, you yelled. I was just kidding around. I'm actually interested in hearing your songs. He turned around. For reals? I thought I would put everything of my works inside my basement box for someone to discover. I didn't know that there would be be someone who would be liking my things already. Oh yes, you agree. This is just the beginning. Your name, your surname. You took his hand and gave it a slight shake. Oh, Sven Loomis. B-boy if you wanna, I don't mind. Where do you live, by the way? I live here. Oh, same. And that's all I wrote. Seriously, that's really all I wrote.